After a successful compilation, sch-rnd has an abstract model, which is the basis of netlist export. This abstract model can be browsed directly using the Abstract Model window. The abstract model consists of components and nets. For example, this design has a component called U1, which is built of 4 slotted symbols. It has a port called 1A. The pin number on a PCB workflow netlist would be 1 because of the pcb/pinnum attribute. To figure where this terminal is drawn on the sheet, click the Sources button. This will pop up a tree view that is limited to the sheets and drawing objects that contributed to this specific port. This makes it easy to find where a specific port or pin number on the netlist is coming from. The same can be done on networks. For example, we have an abstract net called CLK. There's a list of abstract ports connected to this net on the bottom right, but to figure how the connection is made, the Sources button should be clicked. This pops up a tree view with the clock wire net in focus. It is also possible to use the abstract model to figure how an attribute value is calculated. Click on the attribute and the bottom right side will list its history. It says PA in history, which means it's calculated by a plugin. The name of the mechanism is also listed here, port map. So this number is not specified as a terminal attribute, but it must be in the port map of a component. To jump to the source of this attribute history item, click the History Source button. This takes us to U1's port map attribute. This one has a single line history too, but this one says CA, which means it's specified directly in the concrete model and is not calculated. Clicking History Source takes us to the concrete model, the attribute editor of the U1 instance that has the port map. Changing the PCB pin number in this port map attribute will change the output pin number after autocompile finishes. Very often the wrong pin number is figured while looking at the drawing. Our example is a non-trivial case with a slotted symbol with port map. It is still easy to navigate to the source of the information. Right-click on the terminal, invoke the attribute editor. On the left side concrete model there's no 80, but on the right side abstract model the PCB pin number is clearly 80. The same history is presented and clicking the History Source button takes us to U1's port map attribute in the abstract model. From there we can jump to U1's attribute editor on the port map attribute.